Today, we will take a look at Meta's 2023 Q3 earnings report. CEO Mark Zuckerberg started the call by stating that there are now more than 3.9 billion people who use at least one of Meta's apps every month, and then he provided 7 business updates. First, he broadly discussed Meta's AI strategy. AI will be a major investment area for the company in 2024, with a focus on engineering and compute resources, for which non-AI projects will be deprioritized. Meta is focused on introducing consumer AI experiences that will be integrated into their apps and businesses in the coming years. He also emphasized that new experiences will transform various aspects of their services, but it will take time to refine these experiences before they are widely adopted by millions or billions of users. Then he discussed Meta's key business updates, starting with Instagram Reels. This short-form video has been successful, with more than a 40% increase in time spent on Instagram since its launch. Also, it achieved monetization milestones earlier than expected, making it net neutral to company's overall ad revenue. But unfortunately for us, Meta no longer plans to quantify its net revenue contribution in the future. And Meta plans to continue focusing on Reels and intends to expand it as part of their overall video services portfolio, which accounts for more than half of the time spent on Facebook and Instagram. Next is AI-driven products. Generative AI is also becoming increasingly important, with Meta building foundation models like Llama 2, which recorded 30 million plus downloads. Also, Meta claims they're now powering feeds, Reels, ads, and integrated systems using a different set of sophisticated recommendation AI systems. This year alone, these AI-driven feed recommendations have led to a 7% increase in time spent on Facebook and a 6% increase on Instagram. AI tools for advertisers have been successful, with Advantage Plus shopping campaigns achieving a $10 billion run rate. In fact, more than 50% of advertisers are using these Advantage Plus creative tools to optimize images and text in their ad creatives. Meta AI, a recent launch, is an assistant available in messaging experiences and smart glasses for answering questions, providing real-time information, and generating photorealistic images. Now onto business messaging. It is experiencing growth across Meta services and is expected to become a major pillar. On Meta's platforms, more than 600 million conversations occur daily between people and businesses. Also, click-to-message ads are experiencing sustained momentum, with click-to-WhatsApp ad revenue growing rapidly and reaching a multi-billion-dollar annual run rate. And Meta is working on enabling further down-the-funnel conversation for these ads. For example, in India, over 60% of WhatsApp users engage with business app accounts, and revenue from click-to-message ads have doubled year over year. Additionally, there is early traction with Shops ads, and in Q3, Meta announced expanded commerce integration with third-party services to simplify the setup of Facebook or Instagram shops and the running of Shops ads for businesses. Also, Meta sees a significant opportunity for their new business AIs, which can help businesses set up AI systems for commerce and support. Currently, most commerce in messaging relies on human correspondence in countries with low labor costs. But business AIs have the potential to reduce labor costs and expand commerce in messaging to larger economies around the world. Next discussion was on Threads. It has been in operation for 3 months and is showing positive progress. Currently, its MAUs are just under 100 million, and Meta is now shifting its focus toward further growing the Threads community. The long-term vision is to create a billion-person public conversation app with a more positive atmosphere. And regarding the metaverse, Meta's long-term focus, there were 3 updates. Quest 3, Meta's most powerful headset yet, was recently launched, offering competitive pricing against Apple's Vision Pro. It boasts several improvements, including a next-generation chipset with 2000 graphics performance, improved displays, and a 40% thinner form factor versus Quest 2. Most notably, it is the first mainstream mixed reality device, allowing users to see their physical environment and bring digital objects and games on it. Next, Ray-Ban Meta Smart Glasses next generation was launched, coming with upgrades in camera quality, audio clarity, style variety, and the ability to live stream video. Importantly, these smart glasses have Meta AI built in, enabling users to ask questions and receive answers directly in their ears. This is seen as ideal form factor for an AI device, as they can see and hear what the user does. Finally, on software, Meta is also making progress with Horizon, expanding as new worlds like Super Rumble and Citadel come online. Testing of Horizon for phones, tablets, and PCs is underway, and important milestones have been achieved in the development of avatars, including expressive avatars and the latest codec avatars. Lastly, CFO Susan Lee provided some color on hiring plans for 2024. In the next year's budget, Meta will selectively allocate incremental headcount to four key priorities: AI, infrastructure, Reality Labs, and monetization/regulatory and compliance needs. As the company further invests in generative AI across core products, internal tools, and research efforts, Meta plans to offset these increased investments by continuing to focus on efficiency and reducing planned hiring in other areas. Now, let's dive into Meta's third quarter financials. Starting with operating metrics, the DAP was 3.14 billion, an increase of 7% year over year. MAP, which is the monthly active people, was 3.96 billion, an increase of 7% year over year. And the third driving metric, ARPU, was $8.71 per person, which is up 16% from $7.53 a year ago. So overall, very positive operating metrics. Moving on to the financial numbers, total revenue was 34.1 billion, up 23% year over year. And management breaks down revenue for us in two ways. First is segments. Family of apps revenue was $33.9 billion, up 24% year over year. And within this revenue, advertising was 34 billion, which is up 24%. And other revenue was 293 million, which is up 53% year over year. However, the second segment, which is Reality Labs, generated just $210 million of revenue, which is a decrease of 26% year over year. Dividing this revenue into geography, US and Canada generated nearly $13 billion, which is up 8% year over year. Europe generated about 8 billion, which is up 26%. Asia Pacific generated 9.8 billion, up significantly by 44% year over year. And the rest of the world revenue was 3.9 billion, up 31% year over year. And R&D expenditure increased 1% year over year to $9.2 billion. After combining all these revenues and costs, Meta's Q3 total operating income was $13.7 billion, which is up 143% year over year and 46% increase quarter over quarter. Dividing by segment, the family of apps generated $17.5 billion of operating income, which is up significantly by 87% year over year. And just like in the previous quarter, Reality Labs recorded a loss of $3.7 billion, which is 2% increase in loss year over year. Capital expenditure was $6.8 billion, down a lot by 29% since the same period a year ago. Similarly, on a year-to-date basis, Meta spent less in CapEx compared to last year. This decreasing in CapEx is the opposite of Google and Microsoft's increasing CapEx recently, and there is more discussions on this in the Q&A section. Net cash provided by operations was $20.4 billion, which is up from just $9.7 billion a year ago. Despite such positive result, Meta cut back on its stock purchases, which was just $3.7 billion this quarter, down 44% from last year. As a result, at the end of Q3, the cash balance was $38 billion, more than double from last year's cash balance of $15 billion. So overall, Meta generated free cash flow of $13.6 billion, up very significantly from just $107 million a year ago. Now, let's take a look at the most helpful parts of the Q&A section, organized into 5 parts. First, when asked about the monetization and engagement of generative AI tools like vertical chatbots and AI Assistant, Zuckerberg emphasized that they expect a variety of AIs to be in use, from basic assistants to those used by creators and businesses for community engagement and support. First, about AI engagement. The AI interactions are meant to complement human interactions and create additional opportunities rather than replacing them. For example, AIs can be employed in group chats to enhance the overall experience. And these more engagements will lead to monetization opportunities. Business messaging's potential is high, especially in countries with high labor costs. And through messaging, business AIs could make it cost-effective for businesses to engage with customers. Hence, the successful rollout of business AIs could significantly grow the business messaging segment. Second question was about the generative AI tools for ads. And the CEO said that they have been testing AI tools for their AI sandbox, and as they mature, they would incorporate them into ad management and Advantage Plus solutions. Some tools already introduced include text variations. This generates multiple versions of ad text to better reach the audience. Next is image expansion. This suggests creative assets to fit different aspect ratios. And third is background generation, which creates multiple backgrounds to suit product images. Also, various ad products and features were introduced to improve advertising performance and help advertisers drive sales. Then, Zuckerberg claimed that open sourcing of AI development is done to increase adoption, create industry standards, and drive innovation. This benefits Meta and other companies that use Meta's open source models, as it can make them run more efficiently and reduce costs, especially capital expenditure. And by sharing with the industry, it distinguishes Meta and attracts talented people who would have the opportunity to work on industry standards and build products that billions of people use around the world. Fourth, regarding the impact of new data center architecture, Zuckerberg anticipated cost benefits, efficiencies, and planning flexibility in the years to come. While some existing data center construction work had to be paused to transition to the new architecture, which impacted 2023 capex dynamics, this new architecture is expected to be more cost-efficient and provide greater flexibility in planning CPU and GPU capacity. Also, regarding Reality Labs' expenditure and carryover benefits to FOA, the management stated that the majority of costs involve direct expenses like headcount, operating expenses, and product COGS, while the remainder are indirect costs such as facilities. Also, Reality Lab is working on building the future of online interactions, and the following are ways this work will translate into family of apps. In the near term, avatars will become increasingly more important across family of apps, and hardwares like Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses can help create unique contents for Facebook and Instagram by enabling live streaming and enhancing the content ecosystem. And in the long term, the value will come from operating family of apps experiences on a new computing platform, with features like Meta AI Assistant available on smart glasses. In the final section of Q&A, some risk factors were mentioned. For example, when asked about the impact of geopolitical activities on Meta's advertisement, management claimed that the Middle Eastern conflict led to softer ad spend, which has been factored into their Q4 revenue outlook. Also, Reality Labs' operating losses are anticipated to increase in 2024 due to higher payroll costs and higher non-headcount costs to support the development of next-generation VR AR products. With the risk factors from the Q&A section in mind, Meta shareholders should be aware of the following two additional news. First, dozens of states in America sued Meta by claiming that Meta's addictive and manipulative features harm youth mental health. The lawsuits are a result of a multi-state investigation initiated in 2021 following revelations from Facebook whistleblower Frances Haugen about internal company documents showing the potential negative impacts of Meta's products on young people's mental health. Also, Threads has been given 30 days to change its name, because Threads Software Limited, a separate company, holds a trademark for the name Threads since 2012. In fact, Zuckerberg offered to purchase the domain threads.app from Threads Software Limited 4 times, but failed. Besides these risk factors, Meta plans on launching subscriptions for ad-free Facebook and Instagram in Europe. They're introducing this option in Europe, specifically EU, EEA, and Switzerland, complying with EU regulations. To use this feature, users can pay a monthly fee of about 10 euros on the web or about 13 euros per month on iOS or Android devices. Okay, that's it for update on Meta's Q3 earnings. And if today's content was helpful, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. And we will come back soon with an update on other big tech earnings. Thanks guys.